halfway between Iceland and Norway, and a little bit north of Scotland. The islands are associated with Denmark, but are autonomous in most aspects. Language is Faroese, which everybody saw. That's Faroese, and it's an old Norse language has developed over 1,000 years and mixed in with all sort of influences from outside. The Faroe Islands has 48,000 people living there at the moment, and the main industry is fishing. And but I grew up in the capital. My parents had regular jobs. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a lawyer, and I never went out fishing except for a hobby. So I didn't really know many people that were fishing, even though the main industry was fishing. However, at the moment, people are desperately hoping that some explorers will find oil off the shores of the Faroe Islands. So this all sounds very familiar to people who live in this province. My parents gave me the name Bua, spelled B-U-I, and I don't think they paid much attention to what the name meant. They were not that kind of people. I looked up in a book once when I was an older child, and it meant somebody. Well, the name is related to the name, the word of live or dwell, related to somebody who basically stays put where they come from, which is kind of ironic what happened to me afterwards. I have lived in many countries. Mostly as a student, I lived for a few years in Iceland, a couple of years in England, a couple of years in Holland, and after that I moved to Canada with my wife, who grew up in Canada, but we met in England. I spent 11 years in Vancouver and only recently moved here. Vancouver was in a way related to me liking to stay put. For a while I liked to stay put there until we really started seriously thinking about buying a house, and that didn't feel like so good in Vancouver. So we moved here. Well, actually my wife got a job here. The other part that makes my introduction of introducing myself a while is people ask, what do you do? And especially at times when I have been between jobs, because well, once you have a job, you can say, well, I have this job, and that sort of defines you. I have a hard time defining myself for the reasons. Well, I've been a musician, so I studied music for many years. Since then, I worked as a manager for non-profit organizations of various kinds, and worked with groups of mediation, conflict resolution, and so forth. What I came to after a while, after preparing the speech, is that if I was going to find one theme that actually what I do, what I like doing, it's really about communication. And I only realized that music really is, being a music performer is about communicating. And for me it was difficult because to see that, because as a younger person I was very timid and very shy. I didn't say very much, and I never saw myself as being somebody who was good at communicating. I think I have lots to learn, which is one of the reasons I'm here. But that's really, in essence, I think communication is what I want to be about. Like, conflict resolution is about communication too. Having moved here to St. John's, I feel like my geography is starting to settle. I'm finding my way in my professional life. Geography, I'm almost coming home to where I came from. I moved like a circle, like for me it's like if you used like this, down through Europe and then all the way across the Pacific and back, almost home. Like I used to have a problem calling my relatives in the Faroe Islands because there was an 8-hour time difference from Vancouver, and it's hard to find a time. Now I can call my brothers after supper and they'll still be awake. But what really hasn't changed much is my family life, which is mostly guides what what I do and keeps me more stable. Otherwise, I like spending my time with them, and otherwise going to meetings like this. Thank you.